Well, good day, gamers and anime lovers. I think it's time to change up this channel a little bit. There's not been too much gaming, but I have really been enjoying some anime. And specifically, Darling in the Franxx. That one hit a note with me unlike any other show I've ever watched. I was very fond of the love story between Zero Two and Hiro. And that just has... I finished that show up a few days ago, and it's just not left me. I think about it every day. I pray they come up with a season 2. I really hope. They wrapped it up really well, though. It was a very well done show. But Zero Two, she was the prettiest, cutest waifu I've ever seen in a show, and her smile just melts you. All the rest of the characters very well done too. Very, very handsome characters, and storyline, the mecha. I don't know the right terminology, but the mech battles, the mecha scenes, fighting with the robot suits, robot armor. I think I lack the terminology to describe that well, but that was also very awesome. I was mostly fond of the character development and the bond between the two lead characters, Hiro and Zero Two. And I had an extra special fondness because I had a rough childhood getting raised. I had a military dad who wasn't very open and was very strict about everything. And later on, after he died, my mom abandoned me in Idaho at a boot camp. She drove me out there without telling me what it was. She just kind of left me there, turned around, and then she was gone for 3 months, and that was pretty horrible. So I relate very deeply on the upbringing of the characters in this movie. I'll do my best. I'm not going to spoil anything, but basically these kids are raised just to be fighters, to be pilots in these mecha suits. Is that a better term? And I related very much there, not having parents, and I was very fond of that, but I know I'm not the only one. I watched a couple AMV videos of it, which are very... I couldn't even really watch them all the way through because it was too sad to see these visuals and flashbacks. I'd rather just rewatch the season. But there's a lot of comments in there that warmed my spirit to know that I'm not the only one that was really touched by this anime series. I'll put some screenshots up there, and I'll put a couple links to those AMVs down below. It's 2 videos I pulled some links from that were... There's really great comments, and it's cool to see others that were in love with the show like I was. The show sat with me like no other. And so this video is kind of about... this video is for other people who feel that void. It's really hard to follow up any other anime with this. I was watching Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball with the young Goku. But it's hard to go back to that now. There's just so much life in Darling in the Franxx, and I just want to see more of it. But there is an anime that would be a very good follow-up. It's also very emotionally captivating and very... It really sucks you in, and they have another season coming, which always makes me feel good to know that they're still working on it and making another season. It's a Made in Abyss. It's a strange one. It caught me off guard for the first, at first it comes off as a lighthearted G-rated movie, but it is not. It is there's some gory scenes, and there's some maybe might call them inappropriate moments, a little body horror. It's all over the place, but it also sucked me in pretty good. I had watched that before Darling in the Franxx, which might have been best, but I also would have liked to have seen that afterwards to fill that void, because that was also a really good season. Sucked me in. I can't wait to see the next season. You need to watch that season 1, season 2, watch movie 3. The first 2 movies are just recaps of the first seasons. Watch movie 3, and then watch season 3. And there's a little love story kind of going on there, but it's mostly just adventurous and exciting. And I think that's a good show to fill the void. Made in Abyss. Watch it in the English dub for those who... I love English dubs because you don't have to try and read and then follow along the video at the same time. So they have a really good English dub done with Made in Abyss. Be sure to watch it that way, is what I would suggest anyway. So that's really good. I also had a friend just mention... let me find it here. Wolf's Rain. Took me a little while to find this. In an English dub. This is actually a triple audio. Japanese, English, and French. I will leave a link to this below. And that looks pretty good too. I think it's an older one. It looks like an older one. I don't see a year. 2020? That's not too bad. Or at least maybe that's the upload date. Yeah, that might be the upload date because it looks like an older anime. So I don't know what year it was. Produced, but it looks good, and I think that might also be a good follow-up. I'm also looking at watching... I hear it's a sad... It sounds like a sad story, but I hear it's good. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. That is also an English dub, but you can watch that on Daily Motion. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, English, Japanese. I will also place a link for that down below. I want to help you guys fill that void, because boy, it's a big void. Darling in the FranXX. Gosh, she's so cute in her smile. I've never seen such a beautiful smile on an anime character. She will always be my favorite. 02. My God. Her little horns. I believe there was 2 different anime studios that teamed up. Studio Trigger and A1 Studios. I might be wrong about that, but I do believe Studio Trigger is the popular one that everyone was excited for, it sounded like. So, yeah, let's see. I'm not sure what else to touch bases on. That's a couple episodes I'm looking at getting into. Weathering with You. I also found that in an English dub. I hear that's a nice, sweet love story. I gotta fill that void. Boy, it is hard to go on to any other anime after that. It's really weird. I've never experienced this before. I've loved anime my whole life. Grew up with it. Watching it on Adult Swim and Cartoon Network. Maybe a couple other cable channels. And that would have been after my dad and mom got divorced. He would never really let me watch TV like that. He'd never let cable into the house. It would be just broadcast television, rabbit ears. He even cut the cord off the television once because I was watching too much Simpsons. So he wasn't he was okay with movies on movie night or whatever, but he's pretty strict about everything. I mean, he didn't mind if I played video games, but he would have never allowed that in the house. So once my parents got divorced, that was a real saving grace. It was anime and TV and video games. My first console was the Sega Saturn, and yeah, all of that saved me from a rough time in my life growing up. So I loved anime my whole life, but boy, I feel obsessed with it now. I'm on all these forums, well, not forums, but I'm searching the internet and finding these forums. People talking about all the Darling in the FranXX and what to watch afterwards, or just looking for any good English dubbed anime. Durarara. That's a good one. I haven't seen that in a long time, but that might be a good one to follow up with Darling in the FranXX. There's a little bit of a love story going on there, but it's I just remember being that it had a good storyline, and it was a happy, interesting anime. It was a happy, interesting anime. Darling in the FranXX, I've never saved anime pictures before, but now I have a little collection from that show. Absolutely love Darling in the FranXX. I love 02. Love Hiro. Such an awesome love story. They had their ups and downs. There's moments there's some moments I really didn't like. I hated waiting for the next thing to happen. Emotional roller coaster at times, but they wrapped it up nice. I could see them not doing a season 2 because of how well they wrapped it up, but I also could, I feel like they left it open in a small way too. Boy, yeah, what to follow that up with? My God, beautiful, beautiful anime, darling. That word will never be the same to me again. I've probably shown you some of the screenshots of the comments that I'm very fond of, but one says, everyone probably misses this word, darling. I do miss it. I miss hearing 02 say it. And if you guys have any anime you want to share down below, please do. I got a little list going just to try and watch and pass the time. It's raining outside. There's some things I need to be doing, but I can't because it's raining. So it's it's real nice right now. Getting into the anime, really getting into the anime. I was playing a lot of games before this. Now I don't really. I've put the games aside. Now it's just anime. So it's I don't know what else to touch bases on. I think I covered that pretty good. Made in Abyss, I think would be a great one to follow that up with if you haven't seen that yet. I believe I originally saw that on Amazon Prime. But I eventually went somewhere else to get that, to get the full season 1 and 2. I got all 3 movies, but yeah, I just watched the 3rd movie. Made in Abyss, it's a strange one, but that I loved that too. I loved it. Maybe not as much as Darling in the Franxx, but it was up there. Oh, yeah, so thank you for watching. I'm not sure if there's anything else I can touch bases on. Just love that show, Darling in the Franxx. Such a cute character. 02. It's got there's some funny memes too. I'll put up a meme real quick. Oh boy, yeah. There's the moments when they first kissed. It's made me melt. I originally looked into Darling in the Franxx after seeing some grown-up content type anime. I kept seeing this chick in a tight red suit, pink hair, and horns. And so I looked it up, found Darling in the Franxx, and I watched it, not really knowing what I was getting into, and it was great. It caught me completely off guard. I was like, this is freaking awesome. And the whole thing with what's going on their planet and what they have to fight was also really great. But yeah, I was seeing these images of a girl in tight red suit bent over as a pilot with a male pilot behind her. It's very suggestive, or what's the word? It's very provocative. I don't know. Very sexy picture, and I was just like, what the heck is this? I didn't think it was going to be too great of an anime, but it turned out to be my favorite. So that's how I found that show. Yeah, and there wasn't too raunchy. Yeah, there's some good-looking anime girls in there, but it felt more about the love story and connection between them all. The love story between the two and the connection between them all. They have this little group of friends, pilots. Everything about that show is great. I love it. So let me know what you guys think, and if you have any suggestions to other shows. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one, gaming or anime related. I don't know. I had to do this though. I had to reach out and see if I can reach any other people who are very in love with the show and need to fill that void. So we'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.